Welcome back to another episode of Stuff I Make with Grand Inquisitor Chris. This will not be a full project tutorial, but rather just a simple tips and tricks video on how to make shingles. I think shingle making is something that a lot of people dread unnecessarily and put a lot more effort into than they really need to. So for this simple tip and trick, what I did was I went out and bought this cheap paper cutter at Hobby Lobby. It was $11.99, I believe. But if you take in the 40% off coupon, it's like $7, $6 and some change, something like that. It comes with these two little cutters in this track. When you get it, the instructions on the back are very vague, so you have to go ahead and just take this out. It's real simple to do. When you do it, there is a blade in here. Now, I thought when I got this that this white piece here was a safety guard that had to be removed, and it wasn't until I had actually removed the safety guard and cut a hole in my thumb that I realized that that's spring-loaded and you're supposed to leave it in place. So when you get it, take this out, but leave the white piece in. Now, to do the shingles, the first step that I do is take a cheap plastic straight edge that I got. Now, when you're doing something like this, having one of these, I think this came in a set for like $3. It came with some 90-degree triangles, arcs, everything. Real super cheap, but you'll notice that this piece here is fairly thick. So if you go ahead and put it next to your cardstock to measure something out, when you're holding it down, the edge here is actually going to be pressing against the cardstock. The edge here is going to be raised up off of it. So a real easy way to make sure that this stays at a good straight edge and that it's against this for when you're actually drawing your lines, it's not a big deal for when you're measuring, but when you're drawing, is go ahead and put this, your cutting mat, put this on the edge of it. It'll stick up just enough that you can push this against it, and that'll make it nice and straight. Like I said, it's not a big deal for measuring the line, for measuring the distance between the lines. But for when you're actually tracing the lines, it makes it much more accurate because you're going to have this pressing down on the cardstock the entire time. So once you've gone ahead and marked how wide you want your lines to be apart, you're going to go ahead and just trace it out. Now, rather than cut 1,000 shingles or whatever for the project that I'm working on right now, what I've done is I've traced these lines onto my cardstock. And I traced them in this way because I want to show you something. Now, these two pieces are about roughly the same size. But when you're doing it, you want to do it the way I did it here, where the lines are going up and down the short edge. You don't want them going up and down the long edge. And the reason for that is because it's going to make it faster for you and easier for you because you're not going to have to cut as many initial strips. Now, what these indicators are for is how wide I want each shingle to be. And because the manor houses that I'm working on are going to be fairly higher end as far as the little village that I'm putting together, these will be the people that can afford the nicer, bigger shingles, not the crappy whatever they could get out of the cutoffs. So the shingles on these ones will be wider. So what I've done is this is how far apart each shingle will be. And what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to measure out how long I want the shingles to be because I did this in another project and there is actually a lip just inside the straight edge of this. So I have this against this edge, put this down, push it in, and it's touching that lip. So you can see I can apply pressure to it and it's not going anywhere. Push it in again. Now if you want your shingles to be longer or shorter, that's completely up to you. I'm just not going to worry about that. For this project, this will more than work. My hands wouldn't shake so bad, that is. Now, rather than go through and cut all of these for you guys, since this is just a simple tip and trick video, I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side. I'll do the rest of that on my own time. Now, zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and cut these, but not into individual shingles. I'm just going to cut it roughly about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way up that line. Now, you don't even have to do these lines. You can just do it by eye, but what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to do these two sheets, I'm going to go ahead and, once I get all these strips cut, go in the other room and watch some YouTube videos, catch up on some TV shows while I'm doing this. But I'm going to show you this one full line so that you can see one of the things that's going to make this so much easier to deal with. And I wish I could take credit for this, but this is something I learned a long time ago from someone else, and saw again a little bit later in a train making book, I think, or on a video, I don't know. But it's something that I saw a long while back. But I keep seeing people doing individual shingles, and to me that's just crazy, because this makes it so much faster and easier, and especially when you get to the construction part, you can speed things up dramatically. Now, if I can do this without cutting my finger. Okay. So, now as I'm looking at this here, I want to show you this curve, because as you cut it, it's going to start to curve. And that's not a bad thing. Now, you can cut these, usually I'll cut them into 4s, but for this first one that I'm working on, it's going to be fairly big. So I'm going to do these into sections of 6 shingles. Okay, 2, 4, 6. Sorry, my hand is shaking so bad it's making it hard to count shingles. Okay. So now you've got these sections of 6 shingles. Now, as you can see, they're curved, and this is actually going to be a good thing for later on when we get to the actual construction part of projects. What you're going to do is you're going to leave the first one up, second one down, third one up, fourth one down, fifth one up, sixth one down. And as you can see here, that gives you a nice raised surface that when you paint it, that's going to be something that the dry brushing is going to catch nicely, and it's going to give you a really nice look on your roof. And when you're applying them to the roof, let me get one of the roofs over here. Working on some manor houses using the paper mache houses from Hobby Lobby. When you're applying them to the roof, you're going to put the first one down. You should start at the bottom. Put the first one down, and you'll want to overhang it a little bit on the side and on the bottom. Then you go ahead, take your next one. You look at what you have on this. You're going to leave them kind of curled until you're ready to apply them. So this one has the last one is down. So you'll take this one and leave the first one up, down, up, down, up, so that it continues to keep that texture. So we've got up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you're going to do that for the entire length of the house. So, doing this with these, you can see that I've got enough on this large roof here that I'll be working on. It's actually going to be longer when I'm finished with it because it's part of a conversion. But if I was doing it just on this particular roof, these 3 strips of 6 would be enough to put down. And there's 1 entire row of shingles. Just thought I'd show that to you guys because, like I said, I think shingles are something people put way too much thought and effort into, and it doesn't have to be as bad as people make it out to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut the video off. I'll post this, and then I'm going to go in the other room after I've cut all these strips and watch some videos and cut shingles. I'll have enough for my manor houses in no time at all. Talk to you guys later. Bye. And don't forget, if you guys like what you see on the videos, be sure and leave a thumbs up. Hit subscribe, and feel free to share this so that other people can see these tips and tricks too. Talk to you guys later. If you have any questions or want to leave a comment, leave it in the comment section below. Bye-bye.